Hey everyone, and welcome to my first official video for this channel. I hope you're all doing okay. This is going to be the Breaking the Barrier series, and we're going to be focusing on Know Your PC, and this is going to be Windows Edition. I'm super excited about this video, and hopefully in the coming weeks I should be able to get up a Linux edition and possibly also a Mac edition. So for those of you who are Windows oriented or would like to get to know more, this video is definitely for you. There are a lot of reasons why you would want to know your PC, especially for those who are getting into tech roles and all of that. It's essential to know what you're working with, what laptop you want to buy, what's most suitable for you. And of course, this is not exactly tailored to a specific tech role. This is more like a general um, video that is going to just tell you how to know what is the specifications really of the system you're using. Hopefully I will be planning a series where I focus on different aspects of tech and the possible kind of system specifications you want to be looking at for those systems. I've bored you enough with the introduction, so let's get right into it. Okay, so let's get started. First off, if you notice on the right side of my screen, I've got a sticky note there which lists out the shortcuts that will be used in the course of this video. I'm really sorry if this isn't the best presentation mode. Hopefully in future videos it's going to get a lot better than this. Right, so the first and basic step to finding some information about your PC, I believe, would be opening up File Explorer, and this can be done from the taskbar. You can click on the File Explorer icon. You could also type it in the search bar, but I'm going to be using the shortcut in the sticky note, which is the Windows logo key and E. So where you see that Win, that's actually for Windows logo key. Once that's clicked, I'm going to click on this PC, and the first thing we can get off this computer is that the space on it is 1.76 terabytes with 131 gigabytes of space left. And this is under the devices and drives section of this PC. So I just clicked on this PC, and this is the C drive, which houses my entire Windows system. You may not need to worry about this recovery drive, and this is just another partition I have in my system, which you don't need to worry about. But generally, you should have this on your system if you are on a Windows system. So that's the storage space. I know I've got that much space left of that. And now if I wanted to find out more, I can simply right click on this PC and select the properties option. And this opens up a new window which literally spits out view basic information about your computer. I know, very straightforward. Off of this we can get the Windows edition, which is I'm using a Windows 10 Home. So there are other editions like Windows 10 Pro, Enterprise, and so on. But generally, if you're in more of a general role, sort of, you may not really be bothered about this, but there are some roles that require specific editions of Windows. The other information we can get off of this is in system, our processor is an Intel Core i7, and that runs at a speed of 1.8 GHz to 2.8 gigahertz. So it's not really something you might worry about, but you just want to make sure the processor you have is a really good one. Mine's got 8 CPUs, which is quite big. The installed memory, the RAM, is 16 gigabytes actually, and the RAM is generally what is responsible for handling all the processes you run on your computer. So you're running applications, you're opening up a browser, whatever it is, the RAM takes care of that. And so you do want to be sure that if you're running a lot of processes that are quite heavy, you do want to have a RAM of a reasonable size. So 16 gig is actually a lot. If you do feel like you need it, then go for it. If not, 8 gig is another option. 4 gig is about the last bit it can go. Generally depends on what you're doing, but oftentimes if you're using specific applications, you will see specifications on the kind of computer required to run those applications. So you always want to check that yours matches up before downloading them. The other information is the system type, which is this is a 64-bit operating system, 64-bit processor, and maybe you've seen this when you're trying to download some applications or whatever. So there's generally 62-bit and there's 32-bit, otherwise known as x86. Those are the two. I can also get off the fact that this is not a pen and touch, and that just generally means it's not touchscreen. The computer name, yeah, you can see that the work group, yeah. But again, this is just very basic information. We can get more for this computer, and that's what we're going to be moving on to. So I'm going to close this, and the next thing we want to open up is going to be our task manager. Again, you can search for that in the search bar, but a shortcut, as you can see in the sticky note, is Ctrl Shift and Escape. And so you should find all of those keys on the left side of the keyboard if you're using a standard keyboard. Now in here, we want to click on the Performance tab. Brilliant. So the first section says CPU, Central Processing Unit. That's the full meaning, and this gives us information about a processor. Currently, this gives me the speed of what it's running at. At the top, we have the information of the processor that is on my system, and as I said, that is an Intel Core i7. We've already gotten this information before now. We've got on the side here the base speed, the logical processors, the cores for, and all of that. These are a lot to take in, so generally you may not be interested in some of this. I'm just letting you know where to find them. The uptime is also one that is quite essential, so that my system has, if I'm reading this correctly, this should be 1 day, 14 hours and 36 minutes that my computer has been running without being shut down. That should be correct. Yeah, so that is also a way to get information off of your system. You can also see how many processes are running and so on. Let's move on to the next section for now, which is the memory section. And in here, we've got 16 gigabytes a day of RAM installed in the system. Fine and good. So I accidentally closed that up. I'm going to open up again. Yeah, so where was I? We've actually got 16 gigabytes of RAM on the system, and we're currently using 5.6 gigabytes, and I've got 10.3 gigabytes left of it. And this on the right gives us more information about the type of RAM it is, the number of slots used. So on my computer, there are 2 slots where you can put in a RAM card. It's literally like a card, but you can slot it in. Now I'm only using one. That's not really, maybe not important to you, but I'm just letting you know that it's there. You can also find out information on the disk section, and so this tells you the capacity of your disk, at what speed is writing and reading from the disk, and the type of hard drive you've got on the laptop as well. So something else you might be interested in, if you scroll down to GPU, and this is also very pricey, my graphics card, which is also another way of saying GPU, is the Intel UHD Graphics 620. And yeah, this is also one a lot of people care about a lot. May not be for you, but there are a couple of people who do need to know, and if you are one of them, then this is exactly where you need to go. So I know one of the main people who would be very pricey about this are graphic designers and animation experts and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. There's one more place I need to show you, and I'm going to exit that. And to open up the next one, we would use the last shortcut there, which is the run environment. And I'm going to hold on the Windows logo key and R. And as you can see, the run environment opens up at the left corner of my screen. And in there, I want you to type in msinfo32. And I've already got that typed in because that was the last command I ran in there. And it just to be on the safe side, if msinfo32 doesn't work for you, then I would suggest you take out the 32 and just use msinfo, but generally this should work. And then click OK. Brilliant. And we've got this tab that says system information at the left top, and we've got information spat out to us. So first off, we've got the OS operating system name, which is Microsoft Windows 10 Home. We've already gotten that information. And now we're getting more. We've got the version of the operating system, which, yeah, with the build number as well. We've got the corporation, which obviously is Microsoft, yeah. Interestingly, we've got the system model, so that's an HP laptop 15 VS1 XS. And the system type as well, which we saw previously, is 64-bit. These are all some important details that may matter to you at some point and may not matter to you at another point, but it's generally just good to know where to find them. This tells me more about my processor. I'm just going to be picking on some things in here. This tells me the mode my BIOS is running as UEFI. So what else is there? Right. If we go down to this section, yeah. So already I've explained what a RAM is, and this tells me the installed RAM and what is being used. Interestingly, we've got also virtual memory. So physical memory is the RAM, but virtual memory is a section of our hard disk that has been taken out and acts as a backup for a RAM. So if my system starts running slowly or whatever, the RAM is not able to cater for everything, the virtual memory comes in there. So it's just like a portion of your hard drive or storage space that was chopped off and just used as a RAM. That's why it's called virtual memory. And what's been taken off is 20.2 gigabytes of data, and I've got 11 gigabytes of data free off of that. There are a lot of other useful information you can pull out of this. You can go ahead to browse it off on your own. Some are more complicated, some you may not need, but feel free to always Google whatever you do not understand. Yeah, so that's about it for the processes on getting to know your PC. If you enjoyed watching this video, please do be sure to like the video and subscribe. I promise you'll be getting some really good content in the future. Thanks very much for watching once again, and have a nice day.